Well, hello and good evening, my lovelies. Welcome. If you haven't visited me before, my name is Camilla, otherwise known as the Queen of Constantia, and this is my secret throne room. And if you have visited me before, welcome back. Tonight, I am going to be reviewing the Real Housewives of Durban, episode 3 of series 3. And tonight, it's sort of broken itself down into a theme of 3, which I will get to in one moment. But before I do, a few notes. Number one, for those who haven't visited me before, is that I do work from notes because I like to remember things as I'm watching. And in fact, this review is a little later than I would like it to be because I have found that I've actually watched the episode twice, just so that certain things could think in. I said, think in? Hello, you see what I mean? That's why I need to take notes. Sink in. I find that I'm doing that more and more with the episodes of various shows that I'm reviewing. I go back and I recap as things occur to me as I'm going about my day. Now, the second thing is, let me just have a little sip. Cheers. Second thing is, within the next couple of weeks, I would like to get my subscribers up to at least 250. So I am going to be offering some prizes. I'm going to set the date. I will make a video which is going to set the exact date, and I'm going to be offering some prizes. I'm going to be offering 5 100 Rand airtime vouchers to 5 lucky subscribers. And then I'm going to be offering 5 t-shirts from my own range of taglines from Real Housewives of Cape Town. And in my little bag here, I have bought some examples to show you so that you can know what you might get. So here's one of them. Queen of Constantia, I have not been known to lose. Another one is all the little things I said on the show. Stay in your lane. Here's another one. What do we got here? I just don't care. Oh, this was a fun one. Sit down and shut up. And then, of course, my own personal favorite. I wear Gucci. Yes, I do. Okay, so please subscribe and you could be in line to win one of these gorgeous teas or an airtime voucher. Yes, do. Right, now, let's get down to business. Yeah, so I had 3 main themes and a mystery. But let's get on with the 3 main themes. My 3 main themes for today's episode were love, loss, and malevolence. The love was Nonku's love for her new man and all the things that come with it. The dopamine, the serotonin, the endorphins, all that lovely first flush of love that we all get and we all feel, and then after a few years all wish that we could recover. But it's such a joyous thing to watch. Look at me, what's going on with my words tonight? Put my teeth back in again. Lovely thing to watch. The loss was Londi mourning the end of her relationship. So we had the beginning of a relationship and the end of a relationship, watching both at the same time, pillars apart, quite moving to see both at the same time. And then we had malevolence in the form of Sane. Now, malevolence is a very interesting word because it's a very charged word. It's almost demonic. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing something very dark here. And with that said, let me get on with my review. So we start with Slee going to be, it looks like a sort of form of ritual baptism, but I get the feeling that she's been baptized before, so perhaps this is a ritual cleansing. I think that's what it is. It's a ritual cleansing, and then in her commentary, she says that you must destroy, she's talking about herself, that you have to go through something, and in this process, you destroy before you elevate. Now, I found that line fascinating, considering her behavior on the show, because I'm asking myself, who exactly is she going to destroy on her way to elevating herself in terms of being a real housewife of Durban? Interesting thought. And then I wanted to say, Slee, listen carefully to what your spiritual father says to you, because he says, treat people equally and watch what you say to people. Listen wisely to those words, Slee, because I'm not sure that you do. Now, moving on. That's all I have to say about that, see? Then Maria and Annie go riding, and the one goes, hi, my honey, hi, my babe. It's the usual housewives thing. It always makes me laugh. There are a number of things. I'm not fake. I'm authentic, is always said. Hi, darling, you look divine. You look gorgeous. You look fantastic, is always said, even when people don't mean it. I mean, I think it's hilarious. I think next time I'm on Housewives, I think if I don't mean it, I'm going to say nothing. Definitely. Yeah, I'm not going to say you look dreadful, but I think I'll shut up, because all of this, like, oh, you look fabulous. And then, anyway, I just see it all the time. Hi, my babe. Hi, my friend. What? Where's this coming from? But meantime, I've introduced myself as a person who hates fakes, and I hate being inauthentic, and I'm going, oh, come on. Anyway, so they did all that. Hi, darling. Hi, my babe. And then they got on horses and they rode around, and it was all very pretty and it was all very scenic. But meanwhile, I knew that all that was happening was that Maria wanted to corner Annie so she could get Annie to get together with Sarisha to find out why Sarisha wasn't nice to her. So Annie's trying to, Maria's trying to get a conduit to Sarisha to find out why she wasn't welcomed into the group. And guess what? I was right. Ting, ting. And then Maria makes what she thinks is a hilarious joke. She goes, we've never been ridden so hard. It fell so flat. Please, Maria, don't try stand-up comedy. No, it's not for you. Yeah, just stay there and look pretty. Yeah, no jokes. Okay, thanks. Then anyway, so yeah, oh yes, so then Maria then we get another standard housewife line. She stands there with that and she goes, I must tell you, when I'm your friend, I'm the most loyal friend in the world. I'll always be there for you. I'll take a bullet for you. Yeah, of course you will. Everybody says that. Yeah. And then starts a speech about this is what Sarisha did and I don't understand. And I must say the one thing Annie does appear to be shocked about is the fact that Maria wasn't invited to Sarisha's salon, which I called Elsa, but I think it's ULAS launch. And Sane was. She does appear to be surprised about that. And so obviously, Annie is now going to go and do exactly what Maria wanted and report back to Sarisha. And then I came up with something. I was having a little look at Maria's face. And I'm wondering if Maria hasn't perhaps at some stage taken a photograph of Angelina Jolie to her surgeon and said, make me look like this. Because there's definitely some kind of Angelina Jolie type referencing gone on. I mean, it's not a lookalike, but it's definitely, I'd like to have that kind of Angelina lookalike type face thing. And there are moments in this scene where I definitely can see that reference. Take a look, you guys. Go and rewind and see if you can see what I can see. Anyway, one of my things, hashtag just saying. Yeah, so anyway, okay, and then we move on, and suddenly, okay, so we get this music playing, and it's alarm bell music, and I'm going, what's about to happen here? And then I suddenly get it, because Jojo arrives and says that she's about to meet with Nonku and Sane. Okay. Sane arrives. She's got a glove on one hand. Jojo thinks it's a fashion statement. No, Sane has a broken finger. What happened there, I wonder? Sure, there's some story behind it. There has to be a drama behind it that we're not finding out. But somebody's, I mean, I don't think she just kind of opened it, broke it while she sort of, shut it in a car door or something. But anyway, maybe she did. We'll see. Well, we're not going to see because she's not going to say. Otherwise, she would have said if it was something benign. She didn't say. See? Notice. She didn't say. So clearly it wasn't something benign. Somebody probably broke it for her. Anyway, so, yeah, I wrote, who broke your finger, Sane? Oh. Okay, so Jojo asked Sane how she's been since the event, and of course Sane immediately flips it back on Jojo and says, have you seen Slee? And Jojo says no, but cleverly bats it right back, claps it right back, and says, have you seen Londi? And ha ha ha, and then Sane says, no, but I've booked Londi an all expenses paid trip to Bali or Mauritius, because I shouldn't have done that. Question. This is a serious question, Sane. Have you? Because you actually should have. I'd like to take you up on that. And I'd like you to put on your Instagram that you actually have, and that was a serious thing. You said it, as you say later in the episode, you said it live and on record. So I actually seriously hope you have booked her that trip. Now, then you start acting all innocent after everything that you did, and you start saying, that, you made a vicious and unprovoked attack on Londi. It was hideous. You accused her of being boring, losing her man, that it was her fault, that if she'd stayed in Durban, she'd be driving a Range Rover. You were disgusting to somebody that you didn't even know. And now you sit there and you say, I'm going to read it. I'm actually going to read it. You say, when I look back now, Londi is not in a good space, and it's only fair for me to try and sympathize with her. Okay, and then you say, if we could try and start afresh, let's do it. Let's get back to default settings. This girl is not a gaslighter. She is a whole gaslight power plant, and I want to vote for Eskom to employ her because I think she could power a whole city. I think she's amazing. I mean, she is amped up gaslight power, beyond fabulous. Go for it. I think we should all have a spot poll for her to be employed to solve this country's power problem. It's amazing. Okay? So, Nonku arrives. Yay! And you know why I say yay? Because she sits down and she just lays into Sane and she says, this is not okay. What you did was not okay. You don't do that to another woman. We should stand together. And Sane turns around and goes, am I dramatic? Really? Am I dramatic? Ooh, another spark of gaslight. Yay, more power for the people. I'm so ecstatic. Anyway, Nonku tells Sane things exactly as they are. Thank you, Nonku. Go for it. She calls her out and she confides to the camera that she believes Sane is disturbed. Well, I have to tell you, I agree. Nonku is 100% correct. Then Nonku makes a mistake. She starts to discuss her problem with Annie in front of Sane. Sane will store up and use whatever you talk about in front of her against you. You should have worked that out, Nonku. If you'd worked out that she was disturbed, you should have worked out to keep your mouth shut. So the next thing, Sane turns around and says in front of them that Annie slept her way to the top. Annie feels that she has a right to be arrogant. What did she say? Annie was a lousy PA, that she slept her way to the top, that she's got every right to be arrogant because now she lives in a big mansion. And the other, Jojo sits there and keeps her trap shut the whole way through, just looking completely shocked. And then the scene ends. right. And it's going to lead on to huge disaster before the end of the episode. Right. I just want to say, Nonku's confessional look after this. Nonku, you look stunning in that dress and that hair. Absolutely spot on. I'm deeply envious. Okay, so now we get to Londi, Annie, and Sarisha. This is one of the most moving and truly sad scenes that I have seen on any housewife episode in the world ever. I'm not gonna, there's not too much that I can actually talk about. I mean, obviously Londi talks about the breakdown of her relationship. She talks about leaving her relationship before even giving birth to her second baby, and she literally breaks down in front of the cameras, and it is very emotional to watch. It's a hard watch. I see Annie is very, very emotionally attached to Londi. With Sarisha, I feel caring and understanding, but I feel a strange emotional detachment from Sarisha. She's saying the right words, but I don't feel that she's got an emotional connection with Londi in the way that Annie does. I felt so heartbroken for Londi in this scene, and we see Annie in her confessional with her face literally sodden with tears. They are clearly very close, these two. It was really hard to watch, as I said, and very deeply moving. I think that the I loved it when Londi said that her daughter's name was Bomikazi Sibani, life and light. And then she went on to say, I'm scared and I've let my kids down. And you know what, that really, it broke my heart, that statement. And Londi, if you listen to this, or anybody watches this who knows Londi, I just want to say, no, you have not. You're an amazing woman. You've got out there, you've looked after them, you have absolutely, please don't carry that guilt. No, you have not let your kids down. You've absolutely done the best you can. And I pray for you. I send out all my love and blessings to you. And as you said, life and light, my darling, life and light. So moving on, we now go to love. And there is Nonku sitting on her balcony, and she gets a telephone call from her wonderful new man who wants her to come and carry something. And of course she gets all huffy, you know, why am I supposed to go? And wow, the grand romantic gesture. Wasn't this a cute scene? There he is, he's got this huge bunch of red flowers and a Mercedes V8 SUV, if you don't mind. And he is there to do what he said he would do. At their little chat, he is proving his intentions. I love it. She asked him to prove his intentions, and he's there proving his intentions, putting his money where his mouth is, or similar. And I love it. I thought that was a great scene. They looked so happy together. I'm happy for both of them. Congratulations, Nonku. It was lovely. It's a great scene. Very happy for you. And, you know, wonderful to see that after the previous scene. Love and loss, as I said, you know, the circle of life, I suppose. And I wish both Londi and Nonku happiness. And I know Londi is going to find happiness for herself. Again, you know, Nonku's been through her tribulations. Life has circles. It has wheels within wheels. It will all find itself. Yeah. And then we move on to a very odd scene at Sarisha's house. Very, very odd scene. So Sarisha says she's just checking in with her children. But it doesn't appear to me that she's just checking in with her children. Because she's not saying to them, you know, how are you and how are your friends and how's school doing or whatever. She it comes across a lot more like she wants the whole of the world, because this show goes international, goes out on Bravo, goes to the States, it goes to 26 countries. So she wants the whole world to know that her kids really never get to see their father. Because she wants, that's what I said, she wants, her kids, the whole world to know that Viv doesn't really have a relationship with his children. Because she says, Dad's, I want to let you know that your father's gone away for 2 days, and I feel like I'm more like a PA parent. In other words, I just let their father know what his kids are doing. And then the son says, well, you chose this. So he's kind of like, he's blaming his mother for marrying someone that's very busy. And then she says that he should make more time to be at home. And she says, I doubt your father even knows what grade you're in. And this is really running down this man on, first at the moment, national television. And he's a very high profile figure. I mean, he's high profile politically, he's high profile in South Africa. I think he's going to be rather embarrassed by this. And I'm wondering why. Is there trouble in paradise again? I'm wondering, I mean, why is she letting the public at large know that he only gets to speak to his kids? The daughter says, when I go and approach Dad to talk to him, he's always on the phone, and he just goes, Why is she wanting the whole of South Africa and then the world to know that Viv has really no relationship with his children? Because she's always been such a private person. So what's going on? Is she setting this up for some kind of parental alienation thing and some kind of massive divorce settlement? I mean, stranger things have happened. But whatever it is, it looks to me like trouble in paradise. That's what it's spelling out to me. I can't see it any other way, because she's always been very private and it's always been about happy families, and suddenly it's not. Anyway, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd be fascinated to hear what you think. Okay, and then we see Sarisha and Annie, and Annie comes in and she said, Sarisha, where did you find this lady called Sane? How come she arrived at your party? And Sarisha said, I went to a couple of parties and I just decided to invite her. And then Annie says, for heaven's sake, Sarisha, don't just pull people off the streets for your safety and ours. And then she brings up a couple of articles, and she says this lady, Sane, has been involved in taking out, there have been articles in the paper about in taking out or attempting to take out hits on an actor and a musician. The musician was a musician who worked in Durban. Now, she's been a gossip columnist, she's been a music manager, promoter, and now she's a private chef, right? So lots of different jobs, okay? Apparently she's brilliant at all of them. Now, when she was the music manager, I'm going to give you the names that they're beeped out on TV. When she was a music manager, she was managing Nkobi Yazo. That's who she was managing. And he felt so under threat by her that he escaped Durban, and he went to live with his friend who is an actor, and the actor's friend is Tubani Nzuza. Now, he actually hid at Tubani's house, and she actually arrived at Tubani's house with 3 guys. This is allegedly, but it was in all the newspapers, with 3 guys armed 3 guys to do a hit because Nkobi wouldn't go back and work for her, and she said he owed her money. There was a huge thing. It was in all the papers in 2020. There was trouble getting a protection order because of COVID, but it's in all the papers. You guys can all go and Google it. It's all there. Trouble with a capital T. So as you can see, Sarisha gets a hell of a shock. And she says, I don't want to go to parties with this lady. I wouldn't either. okay? Especially after what happened at the last thing where she shoots her mouth off completely inappropriately and really upsets Londi, who she doesn't even know, for no good reason. I know why she does it, because she wants to be the center of attention. And obviously we see what happens later in this episode. Anyway, so, and the article says that those two actors are living in fear after death threats. And it was all over the internet. So Sarisha and Annie agree that they never want to be with Sane at any function ever again. Then Annie asks Sarisha, why didn't she invite Maria? And Sarisha says, well, look, when I first met Maria, I didn't know her. I met her at JoJo's function, and I didn't invite her to my function because I didn't know her. Now, I'm getting a bit of a clue here. I'm not sure that at JoJo's function, they had actually decided that Maria was going to be a full-time housewife. Sometimes in the early episodes, because you'll remember there were quite a few people at JoJo's function. And you will also remember that Maria arrives early and JoJo welcomes her and says, hi, da, da, da. And she doesn't bring JoJo in. JoJo doesn't bring Maria in to the party in the ball gown and introduce her to all the ladies on camera, which is what normally happens when you're introducing a new housewife. I think that they were auditioning housewives still on episode 1. Same with Mbali. Mbali gets invited, okay, but she's not like introduced formally, because there was a lady there called Carol Ofori from East Coast Radio, who was also in a princess gown, who later doesn't make it into the lineup of housewives. I don't think Sarisha picked up on Maria and invited her to her function yet, because I don't think it was confirmed that Maria was necessarily going to be a full-time housewife yet when she turned up at JoJo's party. I think it could have been Carol Ofori. I'm not sure Mbali was yet confirmed to be a full-time housewife. Oh, and my final, not part of a theme, but my final mention for this evening, where's Mbali? She's gone MIA. Where was Mbali today? Gone. Boom, puff of smoke. No one's asked. No one said, oh, Mbali's gone to Joburg to do a gig. She's got a singing job in Joburg. She'll be back next week. No mention of her. That's weird, ladies. She's supposed to be one of the wives. She should have at least have given you one of you a ring and said, I won't be here, or I will be here. I suppose we haven't seen the end of everybody arriving at Nonku's party, so maybe she is still going to pitch up, because we've only seen the beginning. I don't know. But she was MIA for this episode. Very weird. Okay? So then Slee phones up Nonku, and she turns up at Nonku's house. Now, why did she go? She left Sarisha's function and she said, that's it, Nonku is no longer my friend. So Slee, why did you go back? If she's not your friend anymore, why don't you just leave her alone? But you do go back. And then you go back and you're cold as ice. Nonku, in her normal way, is quite generous. She gives you a big hug and she calls you friend. Nonku, I wouldn't have bothered, by the way. Personally, wouldn't have bothered. In fact, if she'd phoned me, I would have not taken her call, or I would have said, actually, I'm busy, I'm in the bath. I'm shaving my legs, whatever. I would have said, I'm scrubbing out my kitchen bin. Anything other than to see you. But anyway, Slee goes over and and I said, Nonku wears her heart on her sleeve. She's generous of spirit. So over Slee goes, and she refuses to alter from her point of view. She says, no, she's not lying. It was her way. She said that she was currently single, but she didn't put it in the fact that she's ready to mingle, and she'd never said about the tattoo parlor. And Nonku says, well, I heard what I heard, and I'm sorry, I'm not changing from my point of view. Okay, I'm going to say, I believe Nonku. That's my point of view. And you guys might believe Slee, and we can all have different opinions, but I believe Nonku because I know Calvin. And I know Calvin wouldn't have lied because he's a straight down the line guy. And I also I know Nonku has no reason to lie. Why? Why would she lie about Slee? She's got no agenda. There's no reason. I mean, Slee's just her neighbor. Nonku is already at the top of the pile of housewives. She's a queen bee. She's right up there. She's got no points to score. Why would she need to lie about Slee? If Slee was telling the truth, she would have backed Slee up. She would have said, no, Jojo's husband heard wrong. Jojo's not going to get upset if Calvin heard wrong. Jojo will just say, oh, okay, he must have heard wrong. You know, Jojo's very soft in the heart as well. I'm telling you now, I know whose side I'm on. Right. Then, you turn around and you say, it's okay, babes, I love you. And if you're hurt, I apologize. What are you apologizing for? You're not apologizing because you lied. So are you apologizing because she's just generally upset? If so, why? Why? Who cares if she's upset? If she told a fib, you've got no need to apologize. Okay. And do you love her really? I think go and pray. Look into your soul and ask yourself if you really love this person. But maybe you are. Maybe you are that much of an open-hearted soul that you just love everyone around you. But be careful who you love. Seriously. Be careful. Because I'm telling you now, she doesn't love you. And there's no need to give love in return. But if you want to love everyone around you, I think that's really, really admirable and lovely. But don't apologize all the time. Stop it. It weakens your position. You have nothing to apologize for. She should be apologizing to you. And if she doesn't, she should just be getting quiet and going away and leaving you alone and doing what she said she would, which is not being your friend anymore. Because as my mother would say, with friends like that, you do not need enemies. Yeah. Remember that. Friends like that, you do not need enemies. Right. Moving on. So, now we get to Annie and Londi saying goodbye. It's very sweet. It's very sad. I just want to say, let's all find Londi on Instagram, find out what she's doing, support her in all her businesses. And Londi, you still have the best ass in South Africa. Bye-bye, darling. We'll miss you and come back soon. Now, Nonku has I'm hoping it's called an end of celibacy party rather than a celibacy party, now that she's got the card, the flowers, and the guy. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So, and it's called Arabian Nights, and Jojo sits down with Ruan and Maria, and she tells the Annie gossip. Yeah, Jojo, remember, you just went, I want my mouth to stay shut, but it won't stay shut. I think you're going to have to give your mouth some lessons. Oh, dear. Anyway, and then Jojo says, yeah, but Sane said these things about Annie, but I quite like her. Jojo, big mistake. Oh dear, I can see trouble ahead. Oh, anyway, Sane arrives, and Maria, who's been going on about who is this Sane, and I don't know if she's, I know who she is. She's lovely. I know her from the gym. Everyone's lovely. Maria says, no, she's not a troublemaker. That's weird, because Sane promptly says, yeah, I'm the one who was fired from your gym because I'm a trouble child. She's not a troublemaker, but she got thrown out of the gym for causing trouble. Ooh, Jim, if you've been watching this, and I don't mean you, J-I-M, I mean the person who owns the gym, won't you please contact me in the comments and let me know what she did? Dying to know. So she got kicked out of the gym. She says, they fired me from that gym of yours because I'm a troubled child. Well, what a surprise. I mean, I wonder who she was rude to there. The manager, the owner, the person on the machine next to her, or just all of them. Probably all of them, I'd say. Anyway, so Jojo then pulls Sarisha to one side and tells Sarisha the Annie story. At which point, Sarisha, having already said she will not spend time with Sane, having now found out that Sane has been involved in a story with hitmen and whatever, I do exactly the same thing. I wouldn't stay in the same room. And then of course Annie's her friend. Sarisha then turns around and says, well, that's it, I'm off. And she goes. Now, Jojo makes a mistake. Jojo, instead of just going back and saying, look, Sarisha just had a call, there was a drama, or she suddenly had to leave, or she suddenly developed a terrible tummy cramp, whatever, goes sweet Jojo, who always tells the truth and just, she's so sweet because she doesn't really have this filter and it's so cute. So she goes back to the table and she tells Sane why Sarisha left. Sarisha left because I told her what you said about Annie. That you said that Annie slept her way to the top, that Annie was a lousy PA that slept her way to the top and is now arrogant and is living in a mansion. At which Sane denies point blank that she ever said it. Unbelievable. And of course they replay it right there, her saying it. And then, she actually says, Jojo, did I say that? And then she says, I'm denying that I said that live now on record. At this point, she is powering up the whole of Schwane with gaslight. Fantastic. What a girl. And Jojo's sitting there staring at her, going, but you said it. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I deny it. Now, of course, it's only Maria and Ruan sitting there staring at Jojo, wondering if Jojo's losing her mind and is making it up. I'm sure Ruan can't believe that Jojo might have made it up. Maria's a bit smug. She thinks that she can get one up on Jojo with this, that Jojo is telling a lie. I can see Maria's rather enjoying the fact that Jojo's on the back foot here. And Sane's having a real go at Jojo, completely gaslighting her. She then says Jojo's doing this intentionally. There's only one person who's doing any of this intentionally, and it's Sane the malevolent. Sane, who will gaslight, who will lie, who will turn everything around, who is, I hesitate to say the demon incarnate, but it's getting pretty close. She will twist everything. And Escom, come and plug her in, please. So she's stirring like crazy in front of the others, implying that Jojo was sitting at the table gossiping with Nonku about Annie. And the others are staring like, was Jojo sitting there talking about Annie? And then Nonku briefly brought up Annie. And the minute that Nonku brought up Annie, Sane took over and did that whole story about Annie sleeping her way to the top, while Jojo just sat there, did not say one word, and stared at both of them. And then after Sane made her outrageous comment about Annie, Jojo just went, yo. And now Sane is twisting it all around and making it about a big discussion that Nonku and Jojo were having a huge gossip about Annie. Unbelievable. Never mind, because it's all on camera and we can all see it. And now everybody else that wasn't there, all the ladies, can now all watch it and see what really happened. Because you see, we must remember that the other ladies have never seen this footage. This is the first time that they are getting to watch it as well. So they've heard rumors, They've heard what they've heard, they've heard what they've heard, but they've never got to see these episodes. They're watching it at the same time as we are. So the scales are going to be falling from their eyes as well. And things that they thought they knew, they're only finding out now. And they're going to be shocked, they're going to be amazed, because they will be thinking that Nonku and Jojo were gossiping about Annie. They'll now find out that Jojo wasn't. She was sitting there with it quietly looking shocked, for instance. It's going to be amazing as it unfolds, I promise you. Now, then Sane sits there in her confessionals and she says this. It's all about effing trending. You don't go around lying, accusing people of something that they didn't say. It's effing irritating. Sane, you're talking to yourself again. Were you looking in the mirror? You must stop doing that, my darling. It's very naughty. When you're on your confessionals, you're supposed to be talking to the audience, and you're not supposed to be talking about yourself and looking in the mirror. Stop it. Don't do it again. And now, on a final note, I would like to say, it turns out, as we found out, that Sarisha met Sane at a function and invited her to come to her function because she'd met her at a number of functions. And it now turns out that she is arriving on a number of Real Housewives of Durban functions. I sincerely hope that production have done a duty of care to this cast and have looked into her background, and that they are keeping the dearly loved ladies of the Real Housewives of Durban, the ones that we love and care about, safe. Because I agree with what Annie said. I think this lady is dangerous. And I hope that there are not consequences to having her on this show. I'm going to leave you with that thought. I think it was an amazing episode. I am concerned for some of the drama that is playing out at the moment in terms of the manipulations that some malevolent people can do when it comes to other people's mental health, because gaslighting can seriously make you question your own sanity. I hope that the ladies are prepared to deal with a very, very professional gaslighter. Anyway, I'm looking forward to next week. Hope you are too. I'm sure it's going to be very dramatic, very fun, and very interesting. Lots and lots of love to you all. Good night. God bless. Sleep tight.